could live your life like you're in Hollywood. You could live in a penthouse in New York. You could act like a girl in a movie scene, but you're still a dancer to me.
Hey, look, menu pong.
Hey Kitty, what's 1 + 1? She says.
1. Well, I'm sure someone
True.
that can answer you is Prated, so let's bring him in for the interview. So, Prated, what is 1 + 1?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The way that he just approached the question.
Legend has it, we never found out the answer to 1 + 1.
No one knew. No one knew. I did say before, let's not do maths on broadcast, and that's exactly why. So, look, let's not talk maths, let's talk teams. Let's talk shop. We've got to get into this game, and we've got Chiefs to have a chat about. And, of course, they get big dubs, Skinny.
They certainly do, Mac. 12 wins on the bounce. The team to beat, the team to look out for, the team to try and take down. And we have seen Kanga give them a definite good run for their money in their last outing. So there is signs of life to get hype around to make sure that this doesn't feel like a bit of a blast out, but certainly best in their role in a lot of these categories. And you're just hoping it continues for as long as possible, because ultimately the end goal is to have the best possible performance internationally. So whilst you might be sad domestically, it's good to see a very strong front runner.
Man, they're hunting for that MSI slot, but another team that is hunting for some success is Kanga. And look, they've been hopping around. They've got another jungler in today. Same one from last week, of course, but no only. And look, last week he had a bit of a rough start, but I'm still keen to see what he can do on these stage games, Rust.
Yeah, we need to see more time from Scott, right? Like, ultimately for Kanga, they are eliminated from playoffs, and I like the idea of just having Scott to get stage time at this point onwards. He has seen a couple of moments, I would say, from the Kanga side where Scott's looked solid. One thing that we took away from it was that he seemed to have a really good fight sense. Like, he understood the map state pretty well and like when to jump into fights and things like that. But at the end of the day, we just haven't seen enough from him. And it's not just him that we're needing to see more from in general, right? He comes into the mix with Fighto, who I believe played Vex into LeBlanc and was 0-4 at one stage last week. There was a couple of roughies there across the board.
Yeah, unfortunately, look, Kanga, of course, also out of contention for the playoffs now. But, as mentioned, look, they had those couple of roster swaps throughout the season, so they're really just looking to get as much experience going into next split. And this is a good one, right? You know, you take on the kings of the league right now, and that's like, what better experience is there, Skip?
There is no better experience. I just love this split because if you saw the gameplay itself happen and you actually watched, I believe it was Tally's tweet showcasing, literally had it all just screaming in comms right now, you know, I'm getting dive. Like, it's what you want. It's chaos, they're having fun with it. They're obviously mechanically excelling, and yeah, you obviously want good practice against some of these really, really top teams. There is no better practice than stage practice.
That's it. And someone that's had a lot of stage practice this split is Kitty. Let's bring her in because she's doing a damn good job, and she's going to do another good job right now. Who are you chatting to?
Thanks, Mac. And someone who also had a really good stage performance is Tally, so let's bring him in for the interview. So, Tally, with Chiefs currently being on a 12-game win streak, how has the team maintained such a consistent performance throughout the split?
I wouldn't say we're doing anything special. Honestly, I think we're not actually practicing as hard as we should be because, like, yeah, everyone knows solo queue sucks and, like, no one really wants to be doing it. So, like, we are just trying to get as much value out of scrims as we can and, like, the teamwork side aspect. So, yeah, that's just what we're focusing on.
And talking about scrims, we've actually seen a lot of potential from these mid lane players this split. What player poses a challenge to you during the laning phase in mid lane?
I would probably say Kyose because I think that he is like he's aggressive to an extent that like he'll get punished by a good team. Like as you'll see, like when he played versus us, he died 8 times. So I think like as a 1v1 laner, if it's left isolated, he is a good player, and like you have to respect him for that. But like he's extremely easily punishable.
Well, Tally, we are running a bit behind in time, so Tally, I'm gonna let you go for your game. Best of luck, and see you on the other side.
Thank you very much.
He's got such a beautiful smile, that man. He's been working on that cheeky grin for years. And look, it's never going to go away, is it? Now, look, we got to talk about the Dare fan vote. You guys at home, get your Twitch points in. Choose a team that you think is going to get that dub. And you can be on my team for predictions. and save me from this hell that is a ditch that I dug myself. And you guys are the only ones that can dig me out of it. Okay, now let's have a look at where we're going with our predictions for this one. I'm not going to be surprised, am I? No. Now look, Kitty, talk to me. How do you see this game going? And if Kanga have a chance, what do they have to do?
It's definitely going to be through Fido and Scott. Although they both have limited time on the stage, they can have potential where they do solo kill the 2v2, or not double kill? I don't know, the 2v2 of Chiefs, where we've seen some cracks from them before. So that's definitely an angle. But coming into tonight, Chiefs #1, going to be an easy game.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for Kanga to cause an upset unless Chiefs do something silly, but we haven't seen that for a few weeks now. They've been, all business, all dubs, everyone picking up the scraps. There was a couple of sort of weak areas from them that we saw in the early parts of the split. But look, for the last 2 weeks, mate, it's just been chaos for everyone that has gone up against them. Even the teams that look like they should be close, there's been moments where maybe, I'm thinking of that Peace game where they almost finished. Was it Peace that almost finished? And then they turned it around last second and ran down mid. Ray's bloody just popped off.
I was the order game, I think.
The order game?
Yeah, with Tristana.
Yeah,
Ray's playing the Tristana, right?
Yeah.
He gets like the quad at the base. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
one.
it's crazy.
That was nuts. That was the closest any team has come. And speaking of close, well, we're already into the game, so we couldn't get close. So see you after this.
We're wasting no time to get into game number 2 here to see if Chiefs can make it 13 wins in a row. What a phenomenal feat that would be. Let's check in with some of these bans and see where we go, because if we look at the last time, Kanga put a big emphasis on limiting the amount of impact that Tally and Tapoon can both have.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do now, though, you'd have to say, based on what we've seen from the recent Chiefs, right? We've had a pretty crazy performance from Arthur and from Dragu, which means the solo laners have a so much easier time actually just playing to succeed. We're getting very similar bans from our red side here between games, Skimmy. It's the blue side that's target banning more often than not. The Tristana from Phyto, so it seems like he is becoming very popular with the ban phase, very specifically to take things from him.
Certainly is. I do like the Tom Kench ban as well, because both support players would be very keen to lock that one. Also, we know how good Dragu is, and Lionel's look phenomenal on that champion as well, so no surprises there. Aphelios locked in nice and early. Big emphasis on banning away triple AD carries. Yes, Raze can play Tristana, but Fido does have that as a pocket pick in mid lane, as we've seen twice before too. Kanga going to instantly respond and say, well, we're going to play for heavy poke, and it's going to be Ezreal Karma.
Yeah, straight into the Ez Karma. I mean, it's important that you pick both together, I find, as well. Like, if you are going to go for the Ezreal, at least in the first 3, you would see the Karma. You could have prioritized the jungler if you would like, but I guess knowing the Aphelios was there, being able to hide the jungle role here for 3rd pick gives Kanga another potential counter if they would like. Ari is going to be the pick from the Chiefs, which means, as you would expect, Skimmy, no hesitation at all. Fido will have his go-to pick.
Certainly will. Loves a little bit of Vex, regardless if it is to be a matchup like this, or LeBlanc seems to be his go-to whenever afforded the opportunity. So we've got ourselves locked in here as to what we now see. Kanga is making sure that Dragu can't run away with things here in this bot lane. They've gone for the Nautilus ban. Whether or not they feel compelled to take the Thresh away too, I have to wait and see.
Could be a Leona angle. Could be a Thresh angle like you highlight. Aphelios being there does open up, the Aphelios Thresh duo. Also, very nice pick composition potentially there from the Chiefs, right? Lee Sin Ari work really nice together. When you've got the Gravitum weapon from Aphelios and a Thresh hook, then you have the makings of a fantastic composition for pick.
Yeah.
So it could definitely be a Thresh ban. Leona still does kind of feel a very similar role, however, and Leona is much tankier, which is definitely something that the Chiefs are looking for.
I've played this Lee Sin Ari a whole host, and usually has been comboed with the Aphelios for the Gravitum. Obviously not the only synergy with it, but has been certainly a consideration that's worked for them multiple times. A Poppy ban. So, yes, we know that Tien loves it. Must be based on Liv's reaction that he's been practicing it as well.
Yeah, Liv would be practicing it. I mean, Tien's been tearing up some solo ranks from what I've seen with it as well. Topoon, usually if you're going to ban the Poppy, you're looking to play something like the Camille top lane, perhaps, right? Like, maybe a Gragas. Maybe a Gnar. A couple of options are there for you. Just with the jungle bans that we have seen so far, it is primarily the Volibear and the Hecarim that were gone. So realistically, every choice was available for the side of Kanga, and they're going to prioritize the Viego. Viego in competitive is nice. No team is perfect in League, and Viego is incredibly good at punishing those imperfections, right? Getting the resets. It is, in essence, like a meta reset champion, as is the Ari. But okay.
Gonna get ourselves another cannon. 100% win rate, not too shabby to say the least. And there is the fresh. It felt like you're gonna ban one or the other, right? That or Leona, whatever was left up for the taking. Most likely what you're going to take. So makes sense there for the side of Chiefs. The question is, though, what does Livs play into this cannon?
Jace is, I think, the most standard pick. I also think Jace works exceptionally well with the comp that Kanga have, right? Ezreal, Karma, sit back, throw some poke out. It's going to be an Akshan, however.
Wow.
Now, that is a matchup I cannot tell you about. Like, it's not very often that you watch Ken and Akshan duke it out in top lane. I would imagine that Akshan and Kennen are just, again, ranged abusive champions, so they're going to just really, like, it is a bit of a skilly up there. Teleports versus Ignite summoner spells is going to have to be brought into question here for the Akshan. If Lived wants to hard win his lane, usually it's a combat summoner second. You know, losing that teleport is becoming less and less of an issue for people in comp games, Skimmy. I think just because Tryndamere started to show up.
Yeah.
You know, get Ghost every game, you get so used to playing the league. Playing the game out rather with Ghost, that perhaps you're more comfortable doing it with other champs as well.
That about it. Summoners just, play for your own lane state, win and see what that can translate into. This will be our first time actually seeing it in the top lane. Second time overall, we saw it played by Mammoth into an Akali matchup mid, but this is where we say we feel it to be the best situated, right? All that terrain to jump around on, nice and safe, and hopefully can look to try and get some good range trades to keep this cannon at bay. That was the ace card, if you will, coming out here from Kanga to try and upset this one. But, I mean, from the side of Chiefs, it seems to be, stock standard, fits the bill. It's what we've come to know and love from them. Pick potential, lots of damage, mechanics galore.
Yeah, flanks from a cannon, team fighting gets brought together nicely from that as well. You get the resets, raised with team fight weapons as well. Ari going to be running around the rift, causing a couple of rips, I guess, here and there with those resets. Is very much Chiefs-centric, like you said. Standards, staple them, getting ready for playoffs.
Let's see what they can do coming into this one. As mentioned before, this would be 13 wins on the go if Chiefs can take this one. Kanga out of contention, but certainly not out without a bang. Looking to try and cause a stir in this one. Let's see what's about to happen here before we do jump to the coaching interview, because we don't want the caster curse to come on through. So we'll see what happens. A fight may just break out here as the damage connects on towards Raze. Arthur in trouble as well, forced to disengage away, and that might be enough as a rogue death sentence goes out. Mainly just going to be brief here. So as the dust settles and as I continue talking, might now be a fantastic chance to welcome in Kuden from the Tide of Chiefs for our coaching interview. And I have to ask Kuden, I mean, there's been so many memorable moments for your team this split, but has there been a particular favourite of yours?
Yeah, when Dracu locked in Pike and he got a pentakill and he went beyond godlike and carried us to MSI. That was my favourite moment.
That's the way. So we're not only reflecting on the past, we're also seeing into the future, as you've told us multiple times.
Yes, I see all paths.
And what must be working out for you, whatever that crystal ball is telling you, because as I say, 12 wins on the go. Quick talking point about this draft. Were you surprised about that last pick, Akshan?
We thought about it. We weren't surprised, but we did. Yeah, we weren't surprised, but Tophoon is confident beating any champ. He didn't care, but we did think about it though.
Yeah, but he is the solo kill monster, so no doubt be looking to try and showcase what he can do in that one. Regardless, Gooden, appreciate your time as always. Wish you boys the best of luck. We'll crack on with the game.
I seek atonement.
We found a new buzzword. We're out of focus. We're now seeking atonement here, Russ. I'm seeking atonement for my sins of missing that first blood.
He's going to have to seek it out of the interview, unfortunately. Atonement is not found from either of us. What we did see was a pretty hectic level 1, turning into a pretty hectic secondary level 1 from just the bottom lane. All summoners used, I believe, through this transaction, but Limas is the one who survives. So Dracu starts hook, right? Gets a hook, hits it on vision first of all. They'll flash forwards, ignite used. So they're all about securing this first kill. And Raze, on the attempt to disengage, I believe was hit by a Mantra Karma Q. Was also smashed with an Ignite himself. And in reality, it does just become a 1-for-1. But it is an AD getting the kill and staying alive for Raze not getting the kill and dying. So that is the type of situation that is just so favorable for Kanga. Speaking of,
Yes, this could be a very nice second favorable situation. A flash roll from Fido guaranteeing the fear goes off and makes it so easy then for Scott to follow things up with here.
I mean, this is so funny. Like, at this point, when we were loading into this game, there was this thought in my head, Skimmy, that I'm sure I'm not the only one that's thinking this. You might see Kanga at their best because they are eliminated, right? It was a thought that I had in my head. And now they're being hyper-aggressive, and it's actually working so far. It's not like a GG lead or anything of the like, but this feels like so much more of an even playing field, and they're against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think it's always such an interesting psych evaluation, right, about teams getting a little bit into their own heads about the pressure of having to win in certainly best-of-1 situations. Chiefs, though, certainly used to those circumstances and looking to answer back with a vengeance as Raze gets his first kill.
It's just prime Thresh gaming. Like, it's not a montage for Draku because he flays nothing, hooks nothing, but then just throws the lantern and Lee Sin gets it done. It means that he's still operating. This is why Thresh is so good compared to other champions that are just hooks with no lantern.
Proxying waves here 4 minutes in, saying get back to your base. I mean, this is great identification really for Chiefs, right? The fact that Linus has no mana, he's down to what, 40% health. He shouldn't be here. Nor might Tapoon in a second, who's forced to burn the flash. He's going to get a 1-for-1 trade, which is fantastic. Scott can obviously crash this wave in, but a 1v2, love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty happy with taking the 1-for-1 trade. At the end of the day, it is still going to be a significant wave that gets missed in top lane. Just quickly for bottom lane as well, the Viego. So Scott walks through mid in the Shroud. That's really what opens the floodgates, right? You give information to the Chiefs, they're so good at making the trade plays. And that's a very good example of it. It ends up between turrets, right? Just completely pushing back the Ezreal, completely pushing back the Karma. Ezreal had no mana or health for a pretty large amount of time there as well, so it makes me wonder why he hadn't reset earlier. But nevertheless, we are getting a lot of trades now back and forth across the map.
Very even game, 5 minutes in, with both teams certainly making their point nice and clear. Going to be aggressive, we're looking for kills, we're looking for tempo, and we're looking for pressure. We're not scared anymore. I suppose it just circles all the way back to your original point, right, about the fact that Kanga don't have anything right now. It just feels so interesting. 4 games to go. If this is how they're starting off against a team like the Chiefs, then let's see how this one can carry out, because they've been in positions like this before, right? They have had leads against the Chiefs in the past. They have cause to stir. The class of the Chiefs has just been a little bit too much to topple.
From level 6 to 5, just quickly in top lane as well here. Skimmy, it is the Electrocute that's going to be chosen this time around against Liv. That is also bone plating, so hold that.
They hold that indeed. There's a charm, and it's as easy as that for Arthur, isn't it?
That's not the first time we've seen a Lee Sin Ahri work together, and it will not be the last time as well. I mean, the combo is so insane. It's the charm that connects. It's the follow-through of damage from a Lee Sin having percentage health with the Q if it hits on a charm target. Very well played by the side of the Chiefs in their 2v2, what we know and love from them, of course. Just quickly back for top lane as well, so I can actually get this one out. Both top laners have gone for bone plating in their runes, but last time we saw top in...
Oh!
Okay.
Hold the point, Rusty. It doesn't matter. Hold the phone. Oh, forget in the way! Oh, it's beautiful. It is so beautiful. Cancel the ult and kick him to the head.
Yeah, clean from Chiefs. I can't talk about the point. It's dead. The point's dead. Just like Liv, 7 more seconds. We're just going to talk about what's happening on the map instead. Drake going to be taken at least in trade. But Chiefs, again, very good at playing for kills, very good at playing for gold. And that's really where they're winning.
Oh, Fido. Has he got this? A stun goes out. Surely to put... Yeah, he is. Okay. For a second, Rusty, I thought maybe.
It would have required something pretty special from top end to survive that one. I mean, unfortunately for him, the play starts with him next to the wall, right? So in terms of angles to juke, he only really has left and right to jiggle. And there was just no space left to run. So he is dead. It will be Fido that gets the trade back, which is nice. Draku's just going to hook a minion to make sure his Q button is still bound. It is. You never know.
You never know. We've seen Tryndamere not have their R bounds. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not remind everyone of that game.
Faulty keyboards. That next play going to take place? That is the question, because Chiefs are back to business, back to the original program. Quite well for what is soon to be 2,000 gold, 1,500 at the moment. Picking up their heralds. I wonder if they are going to plant it top lane. Is that the lane they want to try and break open to give Typhoon the freedom to roam, or would they much rather take the mid lane to allow Tally to be a menace elsewhere?
Another hook just goes wide bottom. I think for the Herald, you could go top, you could go mid. You could honestly, all three lanes are viable strategically for the Chiefs, just in like, it doesn't matter if there is a particular lane broken open, not as much. Cannon still has the teleport flanks regardless of where his lane state is. It's about how the rest of the map is playing, so I wouldn't mind breaking mid so that you get more of a advantage for deeper ward control, right? Like, mid-outer, break that, hang on.
Oh, we're on. We certainly are like Donkey Kong. The Ignite goes out, but he realizes I've been stunned in close proximity. That is a very scary cannon. In goes off, though. That's a clutch fear. Surely. Oh, he's missed the Sonic Wave. Korean Lee Sins do miss skill shots, we've learnt today. A charm comes out and Scott jumps in. Oh, he tried to buffer. He tried to go unstoppable. Damage was just a little bit too much.
The resets do end from Tally, so it's not going to be a follow-through onto a second kill by any means. Flash was there from Ari, so certainly possible. Tally not going to be given that right. Scott tries to make the play with Fighto out of the fight. Unfortunately, even with the Q missing, he's not going to have enough, so mid is broken now.
Keen for some revenge right there. Obviously his teammate has respawned, but was looking to take down the bounty. Oh, Draku flash forward the flame. He's missed the hook, unfortunate. That happens.
That one was flash at the very least, right? So that was a nice little opportune moment there from Chiefs. That's actually something that helps them out so much for the way that their lane currently is. Liam has no mana, so in reality, he has to base here. And it means that lane control goes back to the Chiefs, so they get a better reset for themselves as well. So overall, just winning from that little skirmish, even in just the trade of summoner spells. The real winner, though, is very much this Lee Sin. That is an absurdly large Lee Sin, and the previous point I'm making about vision control, right? Just now that mid lane outer turret is a stone's throw away from death, means that you can get such better vision for a cannon to flank for fights at like the Drake. Right, it's going to be very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, no doubt how it's going to obviously influence the ability for them to rotate through mid and target top or bot to find those creative ganking angles, those paths, if you will. Which, pretty easy said and done now for Kanga. Going to have to be on their A game to keep tabs as to where Chiefs are at any given moment. But early indications, how do you think this top lane's played out? Are you happy with the action in this 1v1?
No, not even a little bit. He is 1-3 right now, and yes, it wasn't entirely his doing, but he has Merc Treads and he is being solo killed at this point, so I wasn't sure how it would play out from the start. I figured it'd just be like a nullified or even lane, right? Just two ranged champions, both very good at disengaging.
Yeah.
It all comes down to like how you play the... Oh, hang on.
Indeed.
Okay,
Arthur says he wants a little bit of this one, doesn't he? He's got the core trigger, flashes away from the Shadow Surge, and just straight disrespects Fido and takes down his jungler. That was gorgeous.
Scott's just been annihilated. That wasn't even close. Arthur is just playing with his food right now. Flashes a Vex ultimate to get the kick and lethal as well. That's actually unfair.
It just felt like boys versus men. That is the caliber difference between these two. Typhoon, he's missed it. Can he get a final kill? No! Oh! They're so low. They are so low. One skill shot is all it takes from either one. Forget that. Checking with bot lane real quickly, as Lemus has somehow just solo killed Raze.
And Typhoon has killed Lived. They've traded.
They have traded. Carnage. Work certainly cut out here for the observing team.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to keep up with all of this happening at once. We don't know how the ADs ended up in that situation. The wave seemed like it was pretty solid for Kanga, so he was playing super aggressively regardless. Top, it just looked like there was a wave crashing, so they were going to play it under the turret, and Typhoon as you would expect from the man, is very happy to take a 1-for-1 trade if the opponent is going to lose out on minions. So I'm not surprised that happened top lane. But I think we're just watching Arthur try and go for the new kill record.
It's only going to be a tough ask here, though, given that the most kills in a single game comes from Cheon at 16. That was against Chiefs in particular.
10 to go.
And, yeah, 10 to go.
It's a tall order, but he's going to continue to make it happen. All right, so Raze has already lost about 30% of his health. He Gale Forces into the face of Limas. Yeah, he just auto-attacks it. I mean, he had a team... Right. To be fair, if Limas doesn't go forward there, he's very dead. And top lane has died. So that's really the recap of Top's 1v1. They're dead. Limas played it well, was my main point in bottom skimmy. If he goes backwards towards his turret, he's just dead. But he did manage to trade 1-for-1.
He did. Oh, what a beautiful knockback. Oh! Fido has found the most beautiful ultimate as a result of that one, though. True Shot Barrage going to come on through. He just missed Dragku. Shadow Surge reset is there, and Scott's going to kick and connect, claim the soul, and really get it done. And that's a safeguard that you're probably thinking, why on earth have you done that, Arthur?
That connects as well.
Another one, wow.
No fear, though, so Fido's not going to be able to follow that one through with an immediate combo. It does get the ultimate out of the Ahri. Raze is still taking an inner turret in bot lane, though, just quietly with his 40-odd CS lead and a full turret in hand. Chiefs are across the board, still ahead after that transaction, right? But that's such a nice little insight into what's possible from Kanga's comp. Still 6,000 down, though.
It's the scary threat of the Vex, no doubt about it. Lots of champions for him to find resets on his passive with, but more importantly, if he's hitting his skill shots like he just did in that prior exchange, there's a lot of people coming together. That fear might be just enough. I mean, it just feels like fiddlesticks on a whole nother level.
The other thing that is so scary, right, it's the Viego effect that we mentioned in Draft Skimmy. Thoroughly enjoy how Vex and Viego get to work together come team fights. I think the point where they've really missed in this game is it's the skirmishing that has just gone too well for the Chiefs. It's the Ahri and the Lee Sin able to work around the map too cleanly. Just too consistently, I think, more than anything else.
Turret's falling on down like butter at this stage.
I just want to watch Arthur kill Scott again. Like that play in the jungle?
Oh, no doubt about it. Honestly,
Let's play of the day.
That already for me is my player today. The fact of what he did in such a short amount of time, the sequence of plays, it's just unfathomable. LCK jungler, by the way.
Oast jungler turned LCK jungler, by the way. I'll live.
Is that kill pressure? Certainly could be. Tally, what are you going to do in this situation? You've got no zone use, you've got no stopwatch. Where are you dashing to? There's no terrain to block it. Great play by Lift.
Okay, yeah, was able to take him down. Nicely done, honestly. Tally had ult, maybe could have been aggressive with it, but realized perhaps just a little bit too late how dead he actually was. And Liv now finds himself 3 and 4. Still struggling in farm, but is getting the kills, is starting to get the items. Arthur spotted here.
Has been spotted. Frantic things here.
That's really unexpected positioning as well. If there was no ward there to spot that, would have been very odd.
I feel like, if Lips can get a few more kills, another item complete, deceptively strong. I mean, these ultimates are certainly in the 1v1 capacity. If you don't kill confirm me, I'm going to take you down. They believed that he'd still be there, and they were right in their hunch. They're on towards Dapuna. Fantastic stun.
Jeez,
Ooh,
the fact that he's
scary.
alive is impressive, isn't it? More than anything else. That was everything was just thrown towards him, and it's one ward. A single ward placed in that third bush in bottom lane has given them all of this information to work with. It's just tragic that it doesn't result in a kill, and now Chiefs have first move to any play they would like.
Draco looking for it, going to look to try and steal away the blue buff. They're going to be successful in doing so. Tally next. There's the box to lock them in place. Arthur jumps on in, sidesteps some skill shots, looks to try and take out Liv. Not going to find it. Out goes the ultimate. Who's going to block those skill shots? Draco looking to try and go in, but not going to be enough. It is going to connect with Arthur. He's gotten out of the fight. Tally staying intact as a battle mage. Spirit Rush now being used as a gap closer, looking to try and cycle through the cooldowns. Everfrost will not be there. Missed the charm as well. Are they still hunting? Because the vision is now being lost.
It's just nothing hitting. Just wrap it up. The play's dead. Nothing's connecting. Raze has killed Fighto in mid during this as well. They're just keeping him busy.
It just feels to me as if Chiefs are saying, we're going to try and feign a skirmish, and we're just going to siege elsewhere instead. They're going to find another kill. This time the hook does connect, and they don't miss on that occasion.
You hit 100% of the hooks that you hit.
True.
Those are facts.
Can't argue with math.
Draku's just applying those facts, right? He's thrown so many hooks out, one of them's got a hit, and one that does results in a kill. There's a teleport in from Fido. No ult, by the way. Just remember, this was used bottom. And you would imagine that he is missing lethal as a result of that. So Raze is able to use the Gale Force, use the sums, locks him down. I'm a bit sad about that one if you're Fido and Arthur. Oh, he takes those 9 out of 10 times.
Surely he's like thinking, oh, there's a fear there. Not sure who else could be in the area. Lost of vision. Would have been keen though, hey.
I mean, that play that happened in that tri-bush next to where Arthur was just then, it was he kicked them away off the blast cone, follows through with a ward. No idea how many are there. Right, he's just going. Right, he's got his 2 items. He's feeling himself.
And it feels like a fun game. I mean, yes, the scoreboard's going to tell us that they're down 7,000 gold, but as far as the way Kanga are playing, certainly not feeling any sore deficit. Got though. Oh no, he's in trouble. He's forced to burn the ultimate to dash away. He's going to be successful in doing so, but in comes Raised over the Moonlight Vigil, and he's got the chakrams like you would not believe.
I mean, the skill shots are being dodged left, right, and center, but the damage isn't, right? There's just a little bit too much damage coming out of Raze.
Here we go. Tally. He's been feared, and he's been shredded down by this Akshan. This is no counterplay to that. Ultimately, he needs his own. He needs to stopwatch. He doesn't have it. And they're going to punish. They're going to capitalize. In goes Tapoon, though, with the Proto Belt. And a slicing Maelstrom onto one key target, saying, why is this Akshan still alive? We'll have to take this tier 2 instead. But they wanted so much more.
The Akshan has a shield bow, has the Merc Treads, also has bone plating. It's very difficult to just get straight into the fight, hit him, and hope that you can take him out. Topping does a lot of damage, has the Shadow Flame completed now, however, so there's a chance that increases with kill threat as time passes. Just a little bit off the lethal amount required there. It means the Chiefs will still push Lived back. Ezreal Ultimate going to confirm what they were worried about.
Tally playing zone defense. He has an ultimate. If he can disengage away, he's got a flash too, burning the ult nice and early. The Baron is still being held here. Draku's just going to get poked at. Now Tapoon goes in and connects with the Q. Baron claimed 4 up and active. Going to go for the fight as a result afterwards. Sonic Wave just at the tail's end. And Fido is looking for that Shadow Surge. He's got a lot of members clumped up together. Could be huge.
I don't know.
He just needs to find it. He flashes on in. Oh, he's missed a skill shot. I don't think they go for it now.
Or Raze.
Raze with the Gale Force with no mana. Oh. Shadow Surge flashed away from, but Lever still gets it somehow.
Minion. This is absolute chaos.
Wow.
Chiefs are not shying away from this. Tally, no ultimate, no health. He's running the gauntlet. He doesn't know Lived is just sitting there invisible. He obviously knows Scott's there now, and Scott's in essence just revealed where Lived is. Now just going to let them go back to base. This has been an insane game of just on-site fighting. But Fighto chooses to... He just gets impatient. I feel like that's the biggest thing, right? Ultimate 5 seconds away. Just flashes to try and hit an ability for the Fear passive and just misses everything.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's starting to get in their heads a little bit.
Would have loved an ult into a W, you know, the personal space, that onto so many people clumped together. We saw what it did before. May have been enough to claw back what is what now? A 10k deficit. It's huge, huge numbers, but maybe just the threat of these double invis characters that is causing them to always be in their A game here. Chiefs are certainly being pushed.
The buff is going to be freely taken here into the Viego is on the other side of the map, completely playing for the top lane outer turret. Chiefs will be walking on vision, but they have plenty of time to work with here, as well as a Baron buff. And this is actually a case of like, Kanga have really good flank wards or just deep vision placed because Chiefs don't even think they've gone that far out of their base.
Got an overheal on Raze right now, topped up and very, very healthy. And this Baron is going to find a lot in its siege attempt. One inhib falls on down, turning our attention onto mid instead, where Kanga are grouped up and primed to go. Death sentence across the wall. Is that the target they're after? No, it is not. Look at Fido on the flank with an ultimate. Doesn't connect. Personal space onto 2. In jump Scott, claims the life fatality down for his 4th off the game. Arthur isolated and no terrain to block it. Where are you going? Well, ultimately he takes no damage because he's got a gold drinker and a death starts. But can he disengage away to safety? He doesn't want to go to that ward. He plants another one instead. He's just going to get run down. Beautiful stun by Scott. And the rest of Chiefs are just playing catch-up.
Raze and Draco, they want the fight.
Soon, what does he have? He does have the slicing maelstrom. He has no flash, but he's got a proto belt instead. He's just going to die in the flank. And Raze tries to go in with a hero's moment. Moonlight Vigil with the red and white. The bot laner Chiefs trying to literally, well, 2v5 to be frank, but it's not going to be enough and they're going to lose Drake.
Scott is so unbelievably afraid of Raze, but it just keeps him busy. He just entertains the Aphelios with a full disengage and bait, while the rest of the team at Kanga try and continue to find those picks, you know, look for Topoon. They'll secure themselves the Drake. They'll get a bit of extra gold in their pockets as well. It's not a losing situation. Again, Vex will teleport in, ultimate just misses. And then he wishes he had it for this situation, right? Because it's a free reset. Really unfortunate there for Fido just in terms of timing. Of course, the vision, we're seeing all of it. He didn't have all of that information that they were about to literally face check him. And then Scott just runs him down. And I think that the crazy thing about this game is from this moment, most teams run away. But Chiefs, they've got 3 people strong. Topoon doesn't know he's on vision. Remember how we spoke about really good wards from Kanga that they just assumed wouldn't be there? Look at Scott. So afraid. He's just keeping him busy. Meanwhile, Topoon dies.
So spicy, and look what that's done. It's put the gold back just a fraction, at least 3,000. That's with them losing inhibs and losing a lot of structures. It's a big deficit, right? 7 towers to 2. But it's not stopping Kanga fighting back. Arthur jumps in. Tether does disconnect away, and the Sonic Wave was close. Sure, Arthur would have followed that one in with the team ready to back him up. They got Supers now pushing.
This game's wild. You know, one thing that we've spoken about over the years of commentary in League is that you can't actually see the gold difference reflected in a game, right? Like when you're a player, you don't have, or I should say didn't have, a feeling for how far behind the whole map was in gold. You had to kind of vibe check it. You know, press tab, look at items. But now with the inclusion of objective bounties, it's unbelievably obvious. Like, you actually don't even need to think about it. You can just look at the size of the bounty on the objective and think, I'm behind, or if there's no bounty, oh, we're somehow still reasonably close, right? Like that just exists.
Yeah. Question is, though, can they claim in a bounty? Easier said than done.
But yeah, like, it's 15 to 17 in kill skimmy, right? So you could look at that and say, we're actually okay, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've got 2 items mid, I've got 2 items top. Like, we're not too poorly situated in this game. The only person with a shutdown is Raze. So in reality, Raze is meant to be the one strong person, but Limas has very efficient and strong items, right? With the tier being completed. So you could say they're fighting fit right now, and I would agree. I think they are fighting fit, but they still have bounties on the map to indicate that they are further behind than they might even think without that bounty.
I'm just wondering if we've yet to see a game where we've had a huge bounty swing where a team has ultimately come back from it. I'm struggling to find one from quick recollection, but there's a situation elsewhere in the world where a team's been down, devastating numbers and a bounty, and they're suddenly turning around a 10k lead. This game, as exciting as it has been, it's been a great day of games already so far.
Well, yeah, it has actually been a pretty wild day of games so far. Look, just missing there, Skimmy. We're starting to get a really tense moment for Kanga. As you were good for checking, every skill shot just missing there by the smallest margin. Lived invisible, to be fair. She's playing for Baron, and Kanga have to respond. They are on the back foot. They have second move to the area. There's an annoying amount of invisibility on Kanga's side between
There
Viega,
is.
Shroud, and an Akshan.
It really is. Feels like Evelyn turned up to 11. There's a lot of pressure on Supers. Chiefs have been biding their time, waiting for that to crash in before they entertain the idea of going for Baron. Now the fight breaks out. Tapoon completely unchecked and unnoticed. Fido jumps in, completely countered out there by the stopwatch. Body blocking with the minions and the members, and that ultimate from Liv this time doesn't really find the mark. Moonlight Vigil very close. It was not close enough. They found, well, the initial pick they needed. Fido probably was the biggest concern of them all, especially in a concentrated small spot like this. Now the Baron is on again.
Scott has ultimate, so he can still get over the wall, just does not have flash to make that very easy anymore. And I think the health missing from the side of Kanga means this just kind of has to be a disengage. And as you can tell, Liv's just swinging on a rope while the Super is still hitting that inhibitor. That's one of the real issues that Kanga ran into during that fight, right? You could ask the question, why did they try and like just face check pointlessly? Like, you know, baiting Scott out with the stopwatch to just try and make the fight happen. And it's because they realized they were on a clock with the minions pushing bot, threatening that inhibitor on the respawn. And they wanted to get something done sooner rather than later. But it becomes scrappy, right? It becomes messy. And Chiefs come out on top from that.
It's such a frustrating spot to be in, right? When you're held in that sort of suspension of, well, we need to do something, or we're just literally losing on two fronts. The enemy team hold all the cards, go and you lose, and it just feels that much more taxing as a whole. And you're going to see what that really reflects into, right? There's an inhib that is very low for them to now work their way towards. They get the Baron, they get another Dragon. Popped up and healthy, they can look to try and claim that inhib down for another 5 minutes once again. So, small margins, but Kanga will at least get one more chance of trying to take this game down.
This Baron should just result in the bottom inhibitor minimum, right? Mid inhib should happen. Again, observers are showing us there's just consistently been really nice little flank wards, and it's only Fido that can use them. He's going back to base now, so with home guards, he could actually look for the teleport. The play could happen. Kanga do seem like they want to fight.
Here it is, do or die. He made this play before, but the Shadow Surge missed on that occasion. This time, will it land? It has to land, Rusty. He's got flash, he's got the tools in the arsenal. He's gone for Tapoon, though. He's gone for Tapoon, and they both go golden. Can the team back him up, or will they just disengage away? The ult comes out from Akshan, but it doesn't connect the charm. The Everfrost, and the instant GG of Lionel. I don't think that's a Sonic Wave you want to connect on this time, Arthur. He's very low, he's still got that Guardian Angel in hand. Tapoon jumps into life and finds vengeance from laning phase. The team fights themselves 30 minutes in. Two inhibitors have been toppled. Arthur nearly ran into that fountain. Look how much lifesteal and sustain he has. And once the Death Dance kicks into action, he's back to full HP once again. The box goes down, you shall not pass. And Chiefs shall not lose. One Nexus turret, soon into two. We're diving fountains now because we want to pad that KDA. It might not be 16 on Arthur's Lee Sin, but he's found 9, and that's just as impressive.
Fido actually really fighting back here. I think minions will just be a little bit too strong, so the Nexus will eventually fall. Tell you what though, they'll hit the hooks that matter. Skimmy, they'll get the dub that matters the most in the very end as well. Well played by Kanga to put up a really strong fighting chance against the best team in the league, in the Chiefs. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs started strong, right? And they finished just as strong in the end. And I think they just entertained the game state that was given to them, right? They played for the Chaos game. They enjoy that. And, you know, they can afford to do that as well. So they had a bit of fun with it. But Kanga showed us a lot, and I think that's the important part.
Without a doubt. And I think that's a great way to sort of summarize that game, right? They certainly did entertain it. It never really looked like Chiefs were in a losing position, given the amount of gold that they had to certainly dictate what they were doing, the amount of structures they were claiming. But Mac, I wonder if this really is going to be the theme now going forward with a lot of these teams saying, well, a lot of that pressure is now off us. You know, we can certainly showcase what we want to do and don't really feel compelled that, oh, this is do or die.
Yeah, they can, you know, practice to show what they're capable of next split. But of course, they can also play spoiler. Say if Chiefs lose here, lose against another team that they've got on the cards for the next couple of days and everyone else is winning, then look, they may not have that top spot secured here for the playoffs. And then that's another realm that maybe we wouldn't have spoke about in the last couple of weeks because they've just looked too good. But again, individually, plays like you just saw on your screen from Arthur, the man was popping off. Over the last couple of weeks, it feels like he's just found this extra level that we didn't see from him for that first half of the split. Whatever was going wrong in the Chiefs camp, it just keeps on getting ironed out every single game. And look, you have to give it to Kanga. They played so well on an individual level as well. It just, overall, it just felt like maybe there was that little bit more skill on the Chiefs today. They managed to rotate that little bit faster, play that little bit better in the team fights. And there was a couple of scary ones. There was a couple of really good moments from Kanga as well, but inevitably, macro-wise, every time you had Kanga making a play, Chiefs making a play somewhere else. And it felt like that wasn't reciprocated the other way, right? Chiefs might have been making a play and Kanga were kind of just standing around figuring out what to do. And it's just those little sort of 5%ers, 10%ers that change throughout the game. And as you can see, gold diff just got way too big towards the end. But again, another over 30-minute game. Something I didn't expect from maybe this game. We thought it was probably going to be a quicker one going into it, Rusty.
Yeah, I think we did low-key expect a pretty fast game overall, but it was good, right? The reason it went long was a positive in the end. I do just think that, as the dust settled, it was Kanga trying to win from a deficit and playing around these crazy teleport flanks, but it was always into the Chiefs' vision, right? So their one strategy, Chiefs were just a little bit too prepared for because they set up nicely for when they were making plays. Standard League of Legends from the Chiefs, but they definitely entertained the chaos, and tell you what, Arthur was feeling himself.
Yeah, there was a bit of limit testing going on in a couple of those fights, which... some of which were lost by Chiefs, except it didn't just convert into that many objectives, right? You see, Kanga managed to find 2 Drakes throughout, but only 1 bloody turret. And that's not enough. That is not enough to get you anywhere near the base, anywhere near the dub. The dub is when you kill the big structure, the Nexus, the big one in the middle. That's the one you got to kill, guys, not just the people in the bloody server. Now, look, let's bring Kitty back into the conversation. Did you enjoy yourself that game?
That was actually a really good game. I didn't expect Kanga to put up such a fight against the Chiefs, but talking about big objectives, I believe that Raze is also a unit, so let's bring him in for the interview. So Raze, Aphelios has been your most played this split, having 9 games on him so far. Is this due to the meta, or is it because of personal preference that you guys prioritize him so far up in the champ select?
It's just the meta. I think it's just a really solid laner, team fighter, scaling, just does everything well. Just has no mobility, but I can play around that pretty easily, so... And people aren't banning it, still giving it to me every game. So I'll just pick it when it's up, pretty clearly.
Guys, stop giving Raze Aphelios. He carries every single game. Well, despite that, because you guys just beat Kanga, eating them up, so... What do you actually think of Kangaroo? And by the way, guys, just for the people in chat who are overseas, it is totally legal to eat kangaroo meat in Australia. So what do you think, Raze?
I've never had it before, so I wouldn't know. I know James Tally has had it, and he said that it's pretty normal. It's not it doesn't taste weird or off. So just based off his opinion, I'd say it's probably just a normal tasting meat. Pretty good.
Well, you definitely need to get your hands on some kangaroo sausages. So I'm going to let you go and grab some of those kangaroo sausages and try them out for yourself.
Thank you.
You have to answer me next time. Thank you, Raze, for
I'll try.
and have a good night.
You too. Thanks.
I'm high-key angry that Arthur looked at the camera and then looked away. And I was expecting something cheeky. And then he got up and walked off and just didn't do anything. And I was like, man, look, we've had so many good background things going on in the Chiefs' house. But he let me down this time. Arthur, look, I'm calling you out. Next interview, you're jumping in the back. You're doing the karaoke. I meant the YMCA. What's going on? I think I meant the Macarena.
What is going on?
What's going on with my brain? I'm too old for this anymore. Just bloody, you guys know it, don't you?
What is going on?
Have you ever?
I think it's
you
like a
ever done-
condensed version, right? Because the frame will cut it out otherwise.
You guys
Surely
but
Mac
do you
can
know
be
the
the
Mac-
M.
Do you know the
and-
Macarena? They
Yeah.
named the Macarena after me. Now, on that note, we got the Dare MVP to have a talk about as well. And I don't think anyone's going to be surprised here because Arthur popped the hell off in the jungle today. Mechanics maxing a few times, taking some solo bolo kills all over the damn jungle. And look, kill participation 63% as well. So he was helping out the boys. Look, he had a few deaths there, but that was also maybe not his fault. Maybe a little bit of limit testing going on with the rest of the boys, but it worked out, Rusty.
I'd say a little bit his fault. Definitely still limit testing though, but that's why it is a bit his fault. Look, in the end, he played really well. Just a solid game of League, right? Did the hard yards to get the Chiefs the lead that they needed to then be able to have some fun with the game overall, right? So full props to Arthur, who once again, the past 2 weeks has just been almost unbeatable in the jungle role with how aggressively and how fast and assertive he's now playing around the map.
Yeah, he's just been all over the place and a playmaker. I feel like that might have been what he was lacking, 6 weeks ago or whatever it was. We saw a lot of him, but it wasn't like he wasn't the one jumping in. He wasn't the one initiating a lot of these plays. But now something's been worked out and just is working out. Now, you guys can work out how to type like !Discord in the chat, right? I'm pretty sure if you type that, you'll get yourself a little link to join the Discord, and you can see pictures of Rusty Dog. You can maybe see pictures of my dog if you ask really nicely. You can see pictures of. I'll do a makeup tutorial of how I do my moisturizer. I'll run you through that. And look, no promises on that one. I don't use that much. I just use moisturizer really. So look, if you want that, just type 1 in chat. I'll make sure that I've got. If there's at least 100 ones in the chat, I'll count them out one by one. Then I'll do that. But look, for now, it's time for a break. So you guys type 1 in chat, and I'll see you after this. For the third game, it is going to be a banger. Peace and order after the break.
It all comes down to like how you play the... Oh, hang on. Okay,
He wants a little bit of this one, doesn't he? He's got the board trick and flashes away from the Shadow Surge! And just straight disrespects Fido and takes down his jungler. That was gorgeous.
Scott thinks towards his turret, he's just dead. But he did manage to trade 1 for 1.
He did. Oh, what a beautiful knockback. Oh! Fido has found the most beautiful ultimate as a result of that one, though. True Shot Bro's going to come on through. Just missed Dragku. Shadow Surge reset is there, and Scott's going to